We're gonna make one of my favorite cookie recipes today, chocolate chip. Let's look at our equipment. It's one bowl, which is awesome. I have all of my ingredients pretty much ready to go. A rubber scraper for mixing. I'm also gonna need a whisk today. No need for an electric mixer. Let's get our butter in the microwave. I want it just melted, so I do 20 or 30-second increments. Here's what it looks like when it's done. There's still some pieces in there, but those will break up, and I know my butter's not too hot. My brown sugar looks like a sandcastle, which means I measured it properly and pressed it in. That goes in the bowl. I also have my sugar, my vanilla. I need an egg too. Let's crack that in a separate bowl to make sure there's no shells. Looks good. In the bowl. Now I'm gonna use a whisk to break this up. Here's what it looks like at first. Pretty dark. I'm gonna use my whisk and add some air. It takes about a minute or two. This is what it looks like when it's ready for the other ingredients. So I've got my flour, I've got leavening agents in there and some salt too. Now I'm gonna switch to my rubber scraper and gently fold this together. When it's about halfway mixed, it looks like that. I can add my chocolate chips. It's really important your butter's not too hot because it will melt those. Mix that up. We want it nice and incorporated. Make sure you get underneath everything too. Scrape underneath all of the sugar. Fold it in. It's all set. We have to refrigerate or freeze this dough. There's no way around it. So I have a container ready. I'm gonna transfer this to a container. At this point, I need to put this in the refrigerator, but you could freeze the dough too. Out of the fridge, our dough is nice and solid. I also have a sheet pan lined with parchment. That's gonna keep it from sticking. And I've got my cookie scoop. That helps me make sure all my cookies are the same size, which means they're gonna bake evenly. A nice level scoop per cookie. I'm just gonna make 3 today. I can put the rest of the dough in the fridge. If you're doing sugar, make sure you roll it in the topping before you bake it, just like this. Back to chocolate chip. On our pan, these are pretty big, so I'm gonna make sure I have a couple inches of space between each cookie. You're probably gonna end up using 2 pans in our class. In the oven we go. This is what they look like when they're done. We've got nice golden edges, and they're definitely set on top. Look how good they look. Transfer them to plates with a spatula. And there's our cookies.